Well, I started Mary Kay. September will be my 20th anniversary. And before Mary Kay, I was a housewife and a mom, and I loved that part of my life. I loved we had gardens, we had horses, the girls were growing up, and my husband and I owned Alternator and Starter Shop in Cleburne, Texas, and I helped him at the shop, and it was all very, very fulfilling. But my daughters grew up a lot sooner than I expected. It happened so quick, and I had not really prepared for that or what I would do when that happened, because I am the type of person, I love to have a passion, something to throw myself into that I really can believe in, and that was my children. But once they kind of flew out of the nest, I just kind of fell into Mary Kay, and it just seemed to fit. Well, Mary Kay is a business for women started by a woman, and her motivation to start that business and what was in her heart has carried on through all these years. Mary Kay is about to have their 60th anniversary, and Mary Kay was a single woman back in the 40s, back when it was not popular or even accepted really for women to be in the workforce. But her husband left her, and she had 3 children, so somebody had to feed them. And so she decided that direct sales would be a good career for her because she could design her own schedule around their school, be home when it was important. And so that's the field that she chose. Quickly, especially back then, she found out it was really a man's world back in, that era and in corporate America. And so she would train men what she had learned to do so well. She didn't start out great, but she applied herself till she, was good at what she did. And so she would train people, men particularly, and they would pass her up. They would promote her, and so they would become her boss. And I think when she was in her early 50s, I think she was in her 50s, in the early 60s, Mary Kay was in her 50s, she decided to retire. She couldn't take it anymore. She had prepared well enough to do that, and she was going to write a book about the perfect business for women, how it could enrich their lives. They could have it all, their family and their career. And as she was writing out her outline for the book, she decided, why not do it? Why not start a company for women that they could have a corporate income but keep their priorities in order. And her priorities were God first, family second, career third. And she feels like if you were a woman to keep things in that order, then it would work. And obviously, being in 35 countries now, 60-year-old company that is still on the leading cutting edge, I guess it worked. I think I started out like a lot of other women. I loved the products. I was a good customer for several years, had a great consultant that really took care of me, put little goodies in my order. So I really enjoyed being a customer. I really enjoyed the products a lot. And like I said, I had 2 daughters, and so they were dating, they had skin issues. I was starting to see some changes in my skin in my early 40s. So like a lot of other direct selling companies, it's like, what, I guess if I became a consultant, I could save a few dollars. I could get the product at a discount. And really that's as far as I thought. I thought I'm just going to join Mary Kay so that I can be my own consultant. I can have access to the products at a discount, and we'll all be happy. Joining, really, I didn't have any real big expectations for it. I thought, if I could make an extra $50 a week, that'd be great, but, getting the product at a discount. But what happened was I went to some Mary Kay events. And like I said, Mary Kay had her own heart, her own ideas, and she was an exceptional woman. She really was. I mean, you can't find anybody that knew her personally that cannot say enough good about her. And so as I learned more about her heart, and the culture that it spilled over in, it's kind of like a phenomenon. That's what I say, and this probably sounds a little corny, but you know how well, a lot of people probably don't know about this, and it probably will date me, but Woodstock, you know, that was something that just sort of happened. It was a phenomenon, and if you're old enough to know about it, or if you've ever read or seen a documentary about it, it was just where, you know, all these people came together for this big concert, and the word of mouth kept getting out until it was this massive, huge thing. And they said it was so peaceful and so much love and all this stuff that happened there, where normally in big crowds like that, you know, there would be chaos and stuff. Well, and they've tried to duplicate it many times, you know, and make another Woodstock, and they can't do it. Well, to me, that's what Mary Kay is. It's a phenomenon. It came together with Mary Kay's heart, and you can't duplicate her heart. And what she was so smart to do was to pass it on to her sales force, so that when she was not around anymore, it would still continue in the same way. Really others focused, enriching women's lives. She based her company on Christian principles. That's why I think, very drawn to it, because the priorities met my own priorities, and being able to combine, you know, my beliefs, my values, my family, but also have an unended opportunity was wonderful. And then now I can pass that on either with great products, or by, you know, offering the same thing that I do, an opportunity to people that may need a side hustle or something like that. So now my mission in Mary Kay started out not really expecting much, but ending up really feeling like, by being a Mary Kay consultant and meeting new people, building relationships, serving their needs, I feel like I'm enriching women's lives. So I do feel like there's a purpose behind it. Well, on a personal level, like through our customers, problems that it solves, of course, is, I always say this, and it sounds kind of, you know, like I'm just being funny, but it has a lot of truth to it, that, you know, women, we're in the workforce, we want to look our best, you know, we want to feel confident. And so, you know, the product that I offer, you know, helps build women's confidence to a certain degree. And but I tell them, the funny part, what I was going to say, is I tell them your color cosmetics, your makeup cannot be a 10 if your skincare is only a 2. And what I find out is a lot of women try to cover up any kind of imperfections or bad skin, you know, things that they feel take away from their appearance. They're trying to cover it up instead of fix it. And Mary Kay really has products. We have our own manufacturer. They do the research, development, and manufacturing, all in Lewisville, Texas. And so they have their own scientists. They're in complete control of the quality of the product that we have. And so it's very safe products. That's what I feel so confident about with Mary Kay, is because safety is an absolute #1 priority for them. Like, we don't have products that will cause an unpleasant experience, meaning like facial peels. You know, you go and you have a peel, chemical peel, a lot of times it's going to burn your skin, it's going to slough off. You know, when I see people after having it done, it looks like they've been severely sunburned. And I think it really does help in the long run, you know, like maybe even out the skin tone, or you know, if you have something that has developed that needs to, you know, be taken off, sometimes they can do it with a chemical peel, but it's pretty unpleasant. Well, we have a peel that women can use on a weekly basis that's citric acid instead of chemical acid, and there is no unpleasant experience, but using it on a regular basis, you'll end up with the same results. So that's kind of how they go about their products. And if it's not 100% proven safe, they won't use it, they won't do it, or even just an unpleasant experience. The community. This is something else. You can be, you know, we always say when you are using a Mary Kay cleanser, or you're using a Mary Kay moisturizer, or one of the other many products that we have, you are contributing to our charitable foundations. And Mary Kay had 2 that were extremely near and dear to her heart, one being cancers that affect women, the other being domestic violence. And so our charitable foundations raise huge amounts of money and donate it every year to local, shelters for women, for the research in cancers, and I really feel like it's made a huge difference. So that's another thing that we can be really proud about, is that a lot of times when people have charities, you may purchase a product and a small percentage will go towards the charity. 98% goes towards our charity, so we're really proud for that also. So I think Mary Kay does a lot of good that way. I know, being in the sales force now for almost 20 years, I've seen a lot of reactions. We usually get 3 common reactions when I say Mary Kay. One is they just really have no knowledge about Mary Kay. They're like, oh, Mary Kay, okay, and you can just tell they don't know much when getting a conversation. They've never even tried the product. Even though it's been here, in Texas for 60 years, there's still a lot of people that have never, ever even tried the product or know very little about the company. Then there's the one that we love. The reaction we love is like, oh my goodness, I love Mary Kay. Oh, I've used it for years. I lost my consultant. Oh, you're a consultant. I would love for you. It's that, connection. You're like, yes, that's awesome. And then there's the reaction that either they have had bad experiences with direct sales, or maybe Mary Kay in particular. They clump it all together. A lot of times we're called multi-level marketing, and that is, to some people it's just a phrase, but it actually is. There are companies that are multi-level. Well, we're actually a dual market, and that was one thing that really attracted me to Mary Kay, because what that means, being dual market, is we are like our own little store. As you can see here, we have, it's like owning a boutique or a storefront. And I've built customers for all these 20 years. I still have a handful of people that still buy from me. So we literally think like retailers. We build our customer base. We take care of our customers. And then on the other side, and we all, from the very newest consultant all the way up to the top person, we make the same. We buy it from the warehouse, we sell it to our customer. There is no multi-layers of our company like that on the pay scale. And so we all make the same. But we do make a very big commissions on our sales, buying it from the warehouse, selling it to our customer. And then on the other side, if someone does need a side hustle, or they're looking for something full-time like I do, we do get commissions from the company, but that's from their cut of the money, not mine, So the sales and the team building, you get paid separately in a totally different way. And so I love that, because not everybody wants to be a Mary Kay consultant, and so they can become a customer. And so it's a win-win either way for me, and I think for them too, because I love my customers, I love servicing them, and I feel like I have a great product to offer. And it's also 100% satisfaction guarantee. If someone's not completely thrilled with whatever they get, you get your money back or exchange it for something that you love. And Mary Kay takes care of that for us, because they don't want buying mistakes in your drawer. I know even me as a client, before I became a Mary Kay client, I guess you would say, I would go buy things and it wouldn't be what I really wanted, but there was nobody to ask or talk to about it. I would buy it, I'd get home, I wasn't happy with it, but I would throw it in that drawer, and it was a waste of money. And with Mary Kay, you never have to waste money if you'll just tell your consultant, this isn't what I thought it was, or the color's wrong, or really there's no questions asked. You get your money back or something else in place of it. I mean, you could look at that a lot of different ways. One, I know a lot of times people run down to a mall, like where they have Dillard's or something like that, and they go and they're having some needs. They're either wanting to look their best for an upcoming event, or they are, trying to find that perfect match foundation. And they go, and there's always somebody different. You're just kind of a number there. And so looking for a Mary Kay consultant, one way you find them is you can look online, put in your zip code, find a consultant in your area. But you can, connect with the consultant, and then you get personal attention, not in the mall in front of everyone, but in the comfort of your own home, at the consultant's home, and you can sit and play in products and ask questions, find exactly what is going to match with you. So that's a really great way to find a consultant and to have that personal attention. Look for someone. Okay, so I can tell the advantages to having a Mary Kay consultant. One, like I said, would be having that personal attention versus just being kind of a number, never having the same person service you. And I have so many customers that do have a special event coming on, and like a wedding or their anniversary, school anniversary or marriage anniversary. And there's nothing I love more than to just go over there. Shouldn't even have to buy a thing. We will sit down, pick out the perfect colors, and do a makeover on her just for that special event. Having that personal attention, I think, is a number one reason to have a Mary Kay consultant. People have a nail girl, they have a hair girl, they have the girl that does their eyebrows, their Botox, all the different things. But, and that, you'll be faithful to that hairstylist or the nail girl because you just love how she does it. And Mary Kay, really, you can have a Mary Kay girl that's your makeup and skincare need girl. And it's that personal. The number one thing is having customization on products, because people have so many different needs, and it's having someone that will listen to you, listen to your needs, and don't just try to sell you something. That's the last thing that I want to do, is just sell somebody something that they're not even going to enjoy. So listening, finding out those pains about your skin, and usually I can ask women, if you had a magic wand, what, if anything, would you change about your skin? And that's when a lot of their pains will come out. Oh, it's too dry, or it's too oily, or I'm starting to get some wrinkles. And I like to listen because there's a lot of different ways you can go with the products, and they're not going to match with everyone. And so to me, that was really valuable as a customer. And now on the flip side, doing it for people, like I said, it builds women's confidence if you can find those perfect products and you don't feel rushed, you don't feel nervous. You can try before you buy. That's a huge one. I loved that when I was a customer, because that really helps you to know, and because a lot of times people will get their products home, and even though we have the 100% buyback, we're all busy. And it's there, and maybe people, intend to call me, or I forget to call them. But when you can try it before you buy it, a lot of times that will eliminate that right from the beginning, because you can see it. But even at that point, even if they still are not happy with it, they can return it. So I have my business page, of course. It's Terri's Beauty Suite on Facebook, and then on Instagram I have, it's Your Mary Kay Girl, but it's not spelled that way. It's URMKGURL, so it's at Your Mary Kay Girl. And also I have a VIP page, and once I connect with you, you would love for me to be your consultant, you're my customer, I have a VIP group just for my customers. So I can send you my virtual business card, and it has a link to that Facebook group, which in that group I do have kind of sales and specials and things like that I love to share with my customers.